The second best day in the penitentiary is by far New Year's Eve because the calendars are about to change. Obviously, the first day is the day you're paroling, but the second best day is New Year's Eve because you're hitting another calendar. That's another year down. Everybody feels the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's getting clear that, hey, this time is passing. We are gonna make it. But just like on the street, everybody in the pen says, I'm gonna quit doing drugs, I'm gonna start working out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with setting a New Year's resolution. A lot of people talk shit on it, but honestly, I don't. Wanna know why? Wanna know the craziest thing? My New Year's resolution last year was to start talking on camera every day. And that was the first time I did on my Instagram, was last year, 2018. January 1st, and I just made sure that every day I did a story where I spoke and got comfortable on camera. The craziest thing about life is what we fear the most and our greatest weaknesses always become our greatest strengths. We become so proud that we overcame what was once a true weakness that it turns into something of empowerment. It gives us massive confidence and we just push forward with it. Try it. This year I just want everyone to take what they're most afraid of, what's seemingly one of their biggest weaknesses, and attack that shit. This is how we level up. This was the game changer of my life. What I just hated doing. I hated speaking on camera. I knew I had shit to say, but I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like how I sounded. And it was the game changer because that's what we're blessed with by the universe. When we face our fears, face your fears. In the penitentiary, just like everywhere else, people get hammered. I'll never forget 2012 New Year's Eve when my cellie Steve got shit-faced, decided to get in the vent. The vent is the space between cells, which we talk through when we're on lockdown. So we're on lockdown and we're talking through the vent to each other, and he decides to get in the vent thinking he's being some cheery-ass motherfucker, and he's just telling everyone, Happy New Year's! The next morning, the word came down from up top, and it was, Hey Wes, handle that shit, handle that shit. So I knew what time it was, and I called him over. I said, hey big dog, come here real quick. He knew what was up. He knew he fucked up, and when he came over, it was, just laid him out. He kind of just was holding on to my arm as he fell down. He was an older cat, but this is how it works. It doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares who you are. Shock collar, youngster, old cat. If you break the rules, you have to come out trademarked up. So now the homies had to see his face trademarked up. They had to see that he got fucked up for disrespecting them and being in the vent. Not everyone wants to be up at 12 on New Year's Eve. So the fact that he decided to wake them all up and act like that, he had to get handled, and he did. He took it humbly, but the thing was, next year, he did the same shit. These motherfuckers don't learn. Just like out here, people don't learn. We will continually learn the lesson in life till we finally learn the lesson. And my goal on here is to show you guys to humble yourself. Learn these lessons before life humbles you. Before life humbles you. In the pen, we make Pruno, we make White Lightning, fools get hammered. I mean, the whole thing is it's just like out here. But the fact is just like out here, when you don't stick to your New Year's resolution, when you consume all this motivation, you get all pumped up, you want to change, you say you're gonna, and then you consume this motivation and you don't see it through, what you said to yourself, what you said out loud, what you in your heart felt like sticking to. When something is powerful that you hear, a quote, a phrase, the wisdom of the ages, something said by someone motivational, when you hear it and you feel it physically and it's drawing you to make those changes, when you don't adhere to that change that you know you want in your heart, you fall under something called the law of diminishing intent. Look it up. This is a real universal law. It's like karmic debt. It's like everything else. The law of diminishing intent states that if we continually stop the path that we're undergoing for our growth, for our change, if we knowingly stop this path, every time we try to re-embark on the path, it becomes harder and harder. I abide by these laws without fail. The second I read something that resonates with me on a high level, I imply it in my life. It will empower you every day the rest of your life. If you hear it, it gives you motivation, gives you power, and then you denounce it at all by not acting upon it, you have just taken away from that universal fucking strength, that universal power exponentially. People have like this weird belief that these superficial things of life give them power, but they know everything spiritual, everything universal, everything we feel from within is where our true power lies. So do not say you're gonna do something and not follow it through. That takes away the power of your word. When your word is diminished, your character is diminished, the respect for you from other individuals is diminished. This is how we're in control. The universe is giving you a path, and once you embark on that path, see it through. See it through, because every time after that, you will fuck yourself if you don't see it through. We become oversaturated with a lot of this, a lot of the reading people do, a lot of the motivational speeches they seek. It's oversaturated. Take one quote from the shit I say, but implant it in your head and run with it. Don't read massive amounts of books. Read small amounts of knowledge, wisdom of the ages, quotes. Read small tidbits, passages that just get the wheels turning. Then apply them to an event in your life and gain the power from the universe. Get those chills. When a thought provokes a physical feeling like chills, how else is the universe supposed to talk to you? This is the universe saying, yes, yes, explore that, explore that. So you have to explore these things. Stuff like life happens for you. I've been running off that my whole life ever since I read that. Every day, that was in the back of my head. Now I live my life with my credo, with these main quotes that are running my life and keeping me on track. Life happens for you. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. In the back of my head, I sit in basically like a meditation stance in the back of my head, and I watch my mind work. It's habitual construction at its finest. I watch my mind work, and when I'm acting in a manner that isn't congruent with these quotes I believe in the depth of my soul, I'm just expelling them or accepting them. Accepted, expelled. Accepted, expelled. This action fits where I'm going in life, or this one doesn't. We must act this way, or else you're a victim of circumstance. People who don't believe the manner in which I speak, they're just saying nothing's under their control, that everything is just happening to them at will, that they're fucked, that they're not in control of their choices, and we all know our choices dictate our lives. Take care of yourself more than anything. Your mourning process is what is going to put you in the place you need to be in life. Don't end up in the penitentiary counting calendars, watching these people throw their lives away, just banging fucking shit in their arms. You guys are so blessed out here. You get to learn from motherfuckers like my dumb ass. I made the biggest mistake. The karmic debt was so immense that I had to sit down for 7 years before I felt that shit lift. I didn't feel my karmic debt lift till about year 7. And I knew when it lifted because everything became so clear. Quit putting all this karmic debt in your path with your little ass fucking problems. People, by selling out the universe, by selling out its plan for you, by selling out what you know better. As you get older and you know better than the shit you're doing, karma hit is instant. It happens to you right away. And you know you shouldn't talk shit to that motherfucker. When you know you shouldn't act in a certain manner, this shit will hit you instantly. It's instantly, especially for me, because I know better, because I've spoke these universal truths to everybody. We know all this shit's right. The golden rule has always been correct. Yet I continually fuck up with my anger. I'm getting better at it, but I continually fuck up with it. That is the only thing that throws karmic debt in my path. That is the only thing that throws me just out of whack. That's the only thing that fucks up my positive mindset, is when I act that way. We are only punished in this life when we willingly give our character away, when we willingly fault in our character that we know we need to possess. That is the only time we willingly give up our life. If we never break character, life, time, anything, all the above can never be taken from us.
You're running me rapid. I really gotta try for this. Try for this. And I really gotta try for this. And try that you're running me rapid. I really gotta try for this. Try for this. Boy, I sit on the carpet. I really want a chance to let go of your body. He's been tossing and turning all day in his bed, trying to remember all the things I've said. Voice that you shine, and you won't see it. Hiding in the dark, it's bleeding in, unspeakable things he says. Voice that kept rolling snake eyes. One too many. One too many times.
There's nothing more that we can do here. We've got what we need, and we don't need their help. But we need a change or something new, a better place or something new to do. We're searching for somewhere else. There's no need to close your to say goodbye. We don't know what it is we'll find, but we'll go just to ease our minds. There's nothing more that we can do here. We've got what we need, and we don't need their help. But we need a change or something new, a better place or something new to do. We're searching for somewhere else. There's no need to close your eyes, and no need to change or something new, a better place or something new to do. We're setting sail. We're setting sail.
machine in motion. The clocks and the walls are numb, and I've been waiting here for so long, so long. Listen, I got a problem, and you're the only one who knows the screw is a function. It's 30 years ahead, and we live this life without you instead. Listen, I'm in the machine in motion. The clocks and the walls are numb, and I've been waiting so long, so long.
Isolation. Isolation will teach you everything about yourself. They say the conscience is the speaking of the soul with itself. When you sit down for 3,000 plus days, your internal dialogue is gonna surpass anything you ever knew. To where when you get back out here, you're gonna feel like a weirdo because you just talk to yourself in your head so often. The biggest thing that got me through massive stretches of isolation was the fact that imaginary evils are incurable. I had this logged in the back of my head. Wes, imaginary evils are incurable. I learned to just choose the outcome and the situation that suited my mindset the best when I was in that stupid negative state of mind where you're just making shit up, believing it, and running a train on your own mind with it. Everyone does it out here. They sit there in a negative mindset, they make some shit up, they believe it, and they fuck their day off. Why do we all do this? We all do it. How do we combat this? How do we combat this? It's only gonna come from someone who lived the most negative days in the world possible and overcame them in a positive way to not only survive in such a negative place, but thrive. We're talking about, motherfucker, we're talking about the shoe. We're talking about long stretches on lockdown. I'm not talking about knives and fights and all that shit. That shit becomes fucking second nature in the pen. But dealing with yourself. I got up every morning at this time. I conducted myself like the man I wish to be because I didn't want to have to deal with myself. I would have to sit down and answer to myself later if I didn't put my heart into that workout. If I didn't get up and program the way I knew I should. Because plenty of guys behind that locked door didn't get up at the time. They laid it back down. They didn't really work out. And that was evident in their physique when the doors opened. Motherfucker who does 10 years should look like a motherfucker who does 10 years. And if your boy comes out, he said he did 15. He's got the titties. He's got the tats. He's got the fucking spare tire. You know how he did his time. He rode that rack. Needle was hanging out the arm. He was sucking on some fucking little Debbies. And that's just what it is. Fucking people can do a gang of time, but they ain't really doing time. Their time's doing them because they ain't present. You have to stay present for the pain, not for the level up occurs. You wait till that moment you can't take not one more second of that pain, that torture that I know all too well. You wait till that second. That's when you flip the time around. All too often I was stuck in my dark ass, wet ass, shitty ass cell in Oklahoma where it was snowing outside and it was dripping water from the ceiling. And we're just like, what type of fucked up, shoddy ass construction is this where there's water dripping from the fucking ceiling and the walls are sweating to where you put up some pictures and it goes sliding down the fucking wall. And you're just like, motherfucker. And most 9 times out of 10, you're sticking the shit to the wall with toothpaste, or you can get some bomb wood glue from the shop and shit. But anyways, the fucking point is dig deep within the second you can't fucking take no more. Anticipate these times you can't take no more and have that shit lodged in your head. Have that shit lodged in your head that your self-talk at that moment is who the fuck you are. You ain't that person when you're all pumped up, all liquor fucking binged out and fucking thinking you're badass. You're that motherfucker that when it gets fucking impossibly hard, you're that motherfucker who decides to stand the fuck up at that moment or bitch the fuck out. I did time with them all. They didn't come out looking like me. And I don't give a fuck if they did or not. I don't care how they look. I want to know that their character shaped their external fucking figure, their aesthetics. You look a certain way if you live a certain way. I know motherfuckers who made such drastic gains internally and externally so quick. In the pen, you can undo karmic debt at a level you could never do out here because you're not getting into the shit. So many people are blocking themselves in daily life with these tiny little vices, these tiny amounts of karmic debt just being thrown in their way. Where you're like, oh, fucking Johnny's a good dude. Why can't he just get ahead? That motherfucker's got buzzard luck or some shit. Because just everything bad always happens to him. It's because he's throwing little bits of karmic debt in his way, and he's never able to get ahead because the universe has it out on him. Like, hey, motherfucker, act right, act right. It could be something as small as his true intentions that are holding him back. You don't know nobody's real true intentions. So if you see one of those motherfuckers who are constantly failing, they're never really getting anywhere, you might want to look a little deeper into their daily fucking activities. But the point is, you can build up karmic debt just by not even being your best self, by not walking in line with your conscience. Your path is your conscience. I hate when people say, oh, I don't regret nothing. Even the mistakes I made, I don't regret them. I've even said that. I've said I don't regret the time I did and this and that. But this is the fucking difference. I didn't regret it then. I did my time like I told you I live, in a voyeuristic manner. I sit in the back of my head and I watch myself. I had many people write me during that time and say, fuck, Wes, you're making it look like a motherfucker would envy you to be in prison and you're in prison. What the fuck? And it's because I'm living my story. I'm present. I'm not looking anywhere else other than where I'm at. Where I'm at is the place I should be, and I'm extracting the growth from the moment, from the fucking moment. So what I'm trying to tell you is regret is not a choice. Regret, when people say I don't regret this or I do regret that, it's not a fucking choice. Because a lot of people lie. Your regret is your guideline to be your best motherfucking self. Regret is simply placed in your head by your conscience to tell you how to motherfucking act. You regret something, there's something that needs to be removed. That is a fucking hookup from the universe, from your conscience. They refer to the conscience as the authentic voice of God, of the universe. This is your path. Until you learn to walk in line with your conscience, to live in congruence with it, you will forever be plagued by your thoughts and your actions and your choices. You will not fucking feel whole. You feel off, because you are. You're making choices based on stuff other people fucking think and any sort of external influences that aren't coming from your heart. The regrets that hit you after the actions and the fucking choices you make, these things have to be expelled the second they happen. But isolation is a motherfucker, because those incurable evils, those things we make up, how do we combat these things we're making up in our head? It's always going to be the selfless route that combats the incurable evils. It's usually other people. The incurable evils to me was when I was wondering, why don't my parents come visit me? Why don't people write me? Do these motherfuckers care about me? That question, why, is one of the most evil things when done in a negative way. When we speak to ourselves and we say why with our self-talk and our internal dialogue, when we do this in a negative way, it can fucking kill us. It can take our fucking life. I sat there for so long asking why, and I finally just said, fuck it. Fuck why. I love them anyways. I don't care why. I'm gonna rewrite this. I'm gonna learn unconditional love. I'm gonna pass it on. The second I did that, everything went away. I wasn't blaming. I automatically took the fucking champion chair and fucking left that victim one for them other bitches who had to fucking stick a needle in their arm to get through the fucking day. And I feel their pain. I've been a dope fiend. It's painful. I've chased ways of fucking just leaving this realm. You're just getting so fucking high, you ain't even here. That is so pussy. To when I see a motherfucker who has to get drunk, I don't even see drinking as someone enjoying themselves. I'm like, damn, what are you running from? I see someone smoking a joint, I'm like, fuck, it's that bad? It's like, honestly, because anything that you're getting from this external substance that's fucking creating this pattern of thought in your head or erasing a pattern of thought, anything you're getting by ingesting this substance, you can do on your own without the substance, by just believing you can and continually trying to conduct yourself in a social manner without the alcohol, to relax without the weed. You can do it on your own, but guess what? Like everything else on this planet, you gotta fucking earn it. How do you earn it? Long view. You ain't gonna get it in year 1. You ain't gonna get it in year 1. You ain't gonna get it in year 2. You ain't gonna get it in year 5. You ain't. You're not getting it in year 5. Are you ready for year 8? Are you ready for year 10? Are you gonna realize that you don't even have it at year 15? You're still at 75% of getting it, and you're ready to keep going? That motherfucker who will never give up on what he truly wants is gonna make it through isolation. He's gonna seek isolation when he gets out. He's gonna seek solitude when he gets out, because he knows he will find all his answers in solitude, in the shoe. You get $55 worth of canteen. That ain't even enough to get a few fucking soaps, a jar of coffee, and a few fucking top ramen. This is what you're getting for your $55 a month. This is what you're getting. You're starving. You're starving. They're putting you in the optimal state. Thank you, state of California. Thank you. You put me in the optimal state for so many years to turn into the man I needed to be, to become my best self. You put me in solitude. You starved me. You put me on all these hard times. You threw adversity in my way. And guess what? I didn't bitch the fuck out, so now we're winning. When I talk about non-negotiable acts, I mean it. Non-negotiable. In the pen, we're getting up. It's still dark out. It's snowing. We're going to have to go hit these bars. We're going to yards. We're in Oklahoma. This is all Cali GP inmates. Everybody's going. It doesn't matter that it's snowing outside and you're wearing 2 jackets and 2 pairs of gloves and you're gonna go hit these bars. We're gonna see how your self-talk is. We're gonna see who the fuck you are when you start to whine and be a bitch. Plenty of dudes did that. Oh, it's fucking cold, oh, Billy. Motherfuckers like me just grab the bars and we get after it. We're not fucking showing all this weak ass shit because we know that's how you solidify that bitch ass behavior in yourself. All these men out here with all these excuses. Check it out. Your excuses are completely valid. I get it. It is cold. They're all completely valid. But if you want to level up, you have to make everything that you want in your life non-negotiable. This is the only thing that got me where I'm at today. I would not take no for an answer. Trust me, every bitch-ass motherfucker in the pen had a bitch-ass excuse for every bitch-ass reason. None of them came out with a bunch of veins everywhere, all jacked. And I don't give a fuck about how I look. This is simply a byproduct of how I conducted myself for the last decade. So I know that the principles that you possess and the way you conduct yourself can get you anywhere in business. It can get you anywhere in your physique. It can get you anywhere financially. It comes down to how much you're willing to sacrifice your pleasure, how much you're willing to forego what you really want to do for what you really gotta do. You see what? I want to tell you is men do what they gotta do. Men. And baby little fucking bitch ass baby boys do what they want to do. When that door cracks, the men are ready. They drank their coffee. They use the bathroom. They don't need a potty break. They're ready to fucking go. Don't be that motherfucker with the lack of preparation that has him looked at as the softest motherfucker in the crew. Be fucking ready. I was the leader of all this shit. I had to do more. I'm asking you of so much, and I have to do more. I'm doing more. The leader does more. If you fail, I fail. I don't take a day off because I don't want you to. It has nothing to do with me. I don't want the new motherfucker who just started to say, oh, Wes is slacking, and then he starts making that negotiation in his head like a fucking bitch that just fucking talks himself out of all this shit. And when I'm talking non-negotiable, if your people jump, I've said it before, you're jumping. If your people have a fucking issue with another race, you have an issue. This is the extremeness of the prison. You can apply this to your life without going to prison. You can just be extreme in your dedication as a father. You can be extreme in your dedication to your fucking craft, to the business you wish to be successful in. You can just choose extreme dedication and apply it. And then you can couple that with extreme accountability, and it's a fucking win-win across the board. Nobody can fail if they hold themselves to constant progression and fucking consistency across the board. Comprehension being the main fucking thing. When we comprehend that nobody is gonna fucking do this for us but us, then we know we gotta make it. One of my best fucking clients from New Zealand, he says, if it'll be, it's up to me. And that's it. Everybody who's fucking not willing to go out, do everything it takes to get where they're going, I know what they are. I know they're a spoiled little bitch, little baby boy. I just ain't that. I don't got it like that. I'm gonna have to make it happen or I'm fucked. And that's what it's always been. And that's what it should be. Nobody respects the latter. No one respects that motherfucker who got everything for free and never had to deal with no hardship. That ain't the reality that I know. That's just not. So in this Oklahoma facility, there was fucking blocks. There was Fox building. There was Bravo. There was Delta. There was what they call the mile that was separated by a fence. We wore yellows on one side of the fence, greens on the other side of the fence. There was a Gym A on one side of the fence and a Gym B on the other side of the fence. This was a split facility. At one time, this facility housed Washington inmates and Cali inmates. Never together, though. A Cali inmate can never program with an inmate from another state. We only fuck with Cali GP inmates at this facility. This was all that was there. We had a massive yard, and there was weights. The weights were cut. They cut the bar, so they didn't cut the weight stack. You still had the machines with the fucking different 10-pound weight stacks. But what they did is they cut the cross member of the bar, so you could only put the pin in at 100 pounds. But what do we do? More fucking reps. More fucking reps. You guys, if you put your fucking heart into body weight, if you put your heart into fucking lightweight, if you put your heart into heavyweight, into every set, and you do it for a lengthy period of time, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you will look like exactly that. You motherfuckers out here, you'll believe in a higher power, you'll believe in a deeper purpose, but you only believe in facts when it comes down to your hard work. Why don't you believe in the fact that you're being blessed by putting your life on the line? You're being blessed by putting your heart into this shit. Why don't you believe in something deeper? Someone the other day told me, dude, I'm eating fucking better, my skin looks better, I look healthier, all that shit. And they just wanted to chalk it up to science. I said, how about the fact that you're sacrificing all these pleasures that you've been taught are gonna fucking benefit you? You're sacrificing all these pleasures for your benefit, for your health. How about you're being blessed with all these health benefits? Why does it have to be purely science? When we purely chalk it up to science, then we're more likely to bitch out. Like I've said before, science says you're a bitch, motherfucker, so take that shit deeper. Take it to the deeper meaning. The fact that you take more pride in how consistent you are. I won't take a day off. I don't care if I sleep 1 fucking hour. Everybody asks me, hey Wes, what time do you go to bed if you wake up at this time? I don't give a fuck what time I go to bed. I'm getting up at my wake up time because I fucking said it. Why is there any other negotiation? Why do you need to know what time I go to bed at? At these facilities, there's no fucking time. Oh yeah, Wes, what time do you go to bed? Okay, well, you don't have to get up at the first unlock and go to yard then because you stayed up too late like a little bitch. Only little bitch-ass baby boys are up all late playing fucking games. Men are prepared. They got everything ready for their next day, and they're ready to get the fuck up and go to work. We don't even play that shit. There's no fucking excuses. This shit fucking trips me out here where a man can believe his own excuses and hinder his progress for his entire life. His entire fucking life. Sitting here telling himself shit and believing it and letting it halt his progression. This self-imposed ceiling out here is sickening. Nothing should be getting in your way. Nothing. You're making that up. The reason you're stuck at that amount of money is because you made up this identity where you only make that amount of money. I've thought of it recently since I have such long view and such dedication. I'm like, motherfucker, the way I think now, the way my mindset is now, I could be a fucking doctor if I want to, because I'm down for the 8 years, I'm down for the 10 years, I'm down for the 15 years of studying. When I was a kid, that seemed so fucking crazy. So that's why I know where people's mindset's at when I tell them 8 years or 10 years or 15 years. And they're like, oh my God. Because when I was 16, I thought the same thing. Well, I'd have to go to school for 8 years to make that much money and be a doctor? Oh, fuck that. You motherfuckers, you're lost. Because the genius equation states 40,000 man hours. And guess what? I don't even believe in science. I just believe that if you put your fucking heart into everything for what 40,000 hours is, roughly 8 to 10 years, you'll be the top of your game. And we don't leave nothing up to chance. That's why when I structure the way I talk, and I talk about how you're gonna get somewhere, it's never fucking some snake oil. It's never a fucking gimmick. It's long view. It's everything you got. It's all your sacrifice and all your dedication. I've put my heart into everything, and I always will, because like I've said before, we're a product of our daily fucking choices, and I ain't turning my end product into a fucking bitch.
Don't make me listen. Give me permission. Ooh, nah, nah. Get in the system with me. Ooh, nah, nah. This is a prison. The letting me go. It's like you don't even own what you're selling me. Clock time down this empty street all alone. All alone. I never given it up this way. Never given it up this way. Now please stop. And know that you're running me rapid. I really gotta try for this. Try for this. And I really gotta try for this. And try that you're running me rapid. I really gotta try for this. Try for this. Boy, I sit on the carpet. I really want a chance to let go of your body. Say the boss, say yeah. They won't find us if we get lost on the road. Boy, I sit on the carpet. I really want a chance to let go of your body. Say the boss, say yeah. They won't find us if we get lost on the road. Boy, I sit on the carpet. I really want a chance to let go of your body. Say the boss, say yeah. They won't find us if we get lost on the road. Boy, I sit on the carpet. I really wanna dance and I hold my body. Say the boss, say yeah. They won't find us if we get lost on the road.
I think I've seen this place before.
Just to break the highlight.
I think I've walked this path in all
Just
day.
to break the highlight.
Can't shake this feeling, what is it for?
Just to break the highlight.
It seems I end up here always.
Just to break the highlight. From the window of a plane in the winter, soft and ivory white, you'd see my footsteps all in vain. No start or stop, just circles. No stops, just circles and circles.
I think I've seen this place before. I think I've walked this path in all day. Can't shake this feeling, what is it for? It seems I end up here always.
Just to break the high life. So sick of feeling dead, laughing in my head. Need snowy silence just to come around. Remember what I said, accountability. Living frozen, I can't trust myself. But when I see my breath, it hurts, it burns my chest. The air is poison, ice, I'm not allowed. Frost is in my hair, the skin is turning red. Been on the couch since the beginning. I hunger for what I've been missing.
losing myself to this endless life, searching for the end. I'm going round and round, need something to get me up off the ground. It's caught me in its claws, begging for relief.